Perfect.
All right, everybody, what's going on? And welcome to today's edition of SWAC Talk. This is the show we cover the SWAC inside and out. I'm your tour guide around the SWAC Seawells coming at you, and we're going to talk some more basketball today. Of course, we still got a lot of football going on. You know, we got the Legacy Bowl coming up in a month or so. We got signing day coming up. You know, we got all kind of stuff still happening, still waiting for the FAMU coaching search to conclude. So we still have a lot of football to talk, and we're going to mix that in with this. But right now, we are in the second weekend of SWAC basketball, so we're going to spend some time on this. So buckle up, and we're going to talk these men and women games. Just, you know, I made the announcement before, but I just want y'all to know so y'all can keep tabs. Hopefully, sometime this week or next week, my first article on bustingbrackets.com will be rolling out. So y'all make sure y'all keep it locked there. I'm gonna post a link when the article drops. You can catch it on my Twitter, which is Swag Talk 76, or my Instagram, which is Swag Talk, or my Facebook, which is Swag Talk. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share. Feel free to comment, hit that join button to become a member, or you can hit the super thanks, or you can donate to the show with the Cash App $ Swag Talk. Let's get into the action. We're gonna start off as usual with the women's side of things. First and foremost, we will talk about Southern and Florida A&M. The Rattlers picked up their first conference win of the season in this game, and their second win overall, beating Southern by a score of 59-53. Southern led this game 18-14 after one. FAMU would outscore the Jags by 4 to go into the half, trailing 28 to actually go to the half tied 28-28. A 6-point differential in the third quarter would basically be the difference in this game. Southern was held at 10 points in the third quarter. FAMU scored 16, and both teams scored 15 in the fourth quarter. So they basically played to a stalemate. And that 6-point difference coming into the fourth quarter was the same coming out of it. Jags dropped to 4-10, 2-1 in conference. Southern was led by Genovia Johnson. She was the only scorer in double digits for the Jaguars. She had 15 points. On the night, 6 of 14 from the field, 3 of 4 from the line. Southern was led in rebounding by Tiana Lidge with 5. Jags only had 22 rebounds, so they didn't have much of a presence on the boys tonight. They committed 31 fouls. They had 6 assists, 18 turnovers, which is kind of uncharacteristic for Southern, but it happens. 2 blocks and 11 steals. They shot 44% from the field, 22% from 3, and 56% from the free throw line. They did finish with 28 points in the paint and 23 bench points. This game did have 7 ties and 5 lead changes. FAMU was led by Ariana Grizzle with 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. Also 2 steals. She finished 3 of 7 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, and 9 of 10 from the line. Also in double figures, Olivia Delancey had 18 off the bench to lead the team. She also had 8 rebounds on the night. She was 6 of 16 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, and 5 of 8 from the line. And also in double figures was Yvette Subritis. She had 13 points and 5 rebounds on the night. Also 2 steals. Rattlers finished with 42 rebounds, so they definitely had their way with Southern on the boards. Out-rebounded the Jags by 20. And they finished with 20 fouls, 7 assists, 26 turnovers. Pretty sloppy game for both teams. 1 block and 8 steals. They would shoot 37% from the field, 25 from 3, and 70 from the line. They finished with 16 points in the paint, 10 second chance points, 20 bench points to pick up a big victory for the Rattlers. They came into this game 0-1, and they leave out 1-1. So they have a tough task against Grambling coming up. So they needed that win to kind of start to get some momentum and some positivity going. That's a big loss for Southern because you're sitting in the position to take a nice step in the conference early, and you drop this game on the road, which makes the other two road games coming up that much more important. Speaking of Grambling and Bethune-Cookman, the Tigers beat the Wildcats 63-62. This game was tight all the way throughout. First quarter score was 18-17. Both teams scored 21 points in the second quarter to make the halftime score a 1-point differential. Bethune-Cookman would outscore Grambling 16-14 in the third quarter, and Grambling would outscore the Wildcats 10-8 in a low-scoring fourth quarter to win this game by 1. Grambling improved to 8-6, 2-1 in conference, bouncing back from their loss to Texas Southern, which doesn't look like that bad of a loss now. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. And Bethune-Cookman drops to 10-5, 1-1 in conference. Grambling was led by Anaja Grant. She had 12 points. She was the only Tiger in double figures. On the night, she also had 12 rebounds, so a nice double-double for her. She was 4 of 14 from the field, 4 for 4 from the line. Also had 1 block and 1 steal. Dalcine Prian, she had 4 steals on the night, 8 points and 5 assists, also 5 rebounds, so a really solid game for her. Grambling finished with 35 rebounds, 19 fouls, 14 assists, 16 turnovers, 2 blocks, and 11 steals. They would shoot 31% from the field, 33 from 3, and 88 from the line. They really shot the ball well in the fourth quarter from the free throw line, going 8 for 8. Also went 7 of 8 in the third quarter from the line. So 15 or 16 from the line in the second half, that definitely is going to help you a lot in games like this. They finished with 22 points in the paint and 28 bench points. This game had 13 ties and 18 lead changes. Very tight all the way through. Chanel McDonald led Bethune-Cookman with 19 points. Kerrigan Dunn and Kayla Clark each had 10 points. Clark also had 9 rebounds. Deshante Edwards also had 8 rebounds on the night for the Wildcats. They finished with 31 rebounds. They had 18 fouls, 17 assists, 22 turnovers, 6 blocks, and 6 steals. They would shoot 40% from the field, including 0 for 9 in the fourth quarter. They also were 0 for 3 from 3 in the fourth quarter. They did not make a three-pointer in the second half, which is definitely something that would hurt you. They went 2 of 13 from 3, 15%. They did shoot 77% from the free throw line. They went 10 of 12 from the free throw line in the second half. But poor shooting from the field for the Wildcats in the fourth quarter really doomed them. Not being able to score in the second quarter. In the fourth quarter definitely is going to hurt you. Grambling plays a high-pressure defense, and they really made it tough for Bethune-Cookman to do anything. Wildcats finished with 24 points in the paint and 22 bench points. Big win for Grambling on the road as they continue to find their footing, and they bounce back from a tough loss to Texas Southern at home. The next game that we're going to cover will be, as I wait for my screen to pop up, our next game will be Alcorn and Alabama State. Braves pick up a 49-42 victory. Like I said in my preview, I thought this game would be close. I didn't think it would be pretty, and it really wasn't. Both teams combined for 17 points in the first quarter. The halftime score was 21-15. Bama State led at that point. Alcorn would score 15 points in the third quarter to Bama State 7, and then they would outscore Bama State 19-14 in the second half. In the fourth quarter to win this game 49-42. Alcorn picks up their first SWAC win. They're 1-2 in conference, 3-11 overall. Bama State drops to 1-14 and 1-3 in conference. Destiny Brown had 21 points for Alcorn and 16 rebounds, so she had a huge double-double for the Braves. She also had 7 blocks, 4 steals as well, 2 assists. Really, really good game. 7 of 19 from the field, 7 of 10 from the line. Also, Zaniyah White chipped in 11 points for the Braves and 4 rebounds. Nakia Cheatham had 8 rebounds for the Braves. And they finished with 49 rebounds. They had a really great night on the boards. 12 fouls, 11 assists, 19 turnovers, 8 blocks, and 8 steals. They would shoot 31% from the field. They did not make a 3. They were 0 for 5 from 3, including no 3-point attempts in the second half at all, and 68% from the free throw line. They finished with 26 points in the paint and 11 bench points. This game had 3 ties and 5 lead changes. Bama State was led by Khadijah Harris with 14 points and 16 rebounds. So she also had a double-double, 1 block and 1 steal. She finished 6 of 16 from the field, 1 for 1 from 3, and 1 for 2 from the line. She was the only Hornet in double figures. They had 43 rebounds, 23 fouls, 8 assists, 18 turnovers, 4 blocks, and 13 steals. They would shoot 24% from the field, 12 from the 3, and 63% from the line. So not a great night shooting for either team in this game. Alcorn was able to do just enough. And it was nice battle with 2 players, one on each team with really great double doubles. But other than that, this game was not much to write home about. But the Braves pick up a victory, a much needed victory on the road at that. Jackson State would beat Alabama A&M 70-41. This game was pretty tight for a little while. The score was 26-22 at the half before Jackson State outscored the Bulldogs 44-19 in the second half to pull away in this game. Tigers improved to 8-6 and 3-0 in conference. 7-9 for the Bulldogs. They dropped 2-2 in conference. Angel Jackson, another double-double. She had 17 and 14. 3 steals, 3 blocks as well, and 1 assist. She was 6 of 12 from the field and 5 of 6 from the line. Zakiya Mahoney had 11 points and 7 rebounds. Maya Crump had 10 points and 4 rebounds. Off the bench, Adriana Avon had 10 points as well. So 4 Tigers in double figures. They finished with 43 rebounds, 13 fouls, 11 assists, 11 turnovers, 3 blocks, and 10 steals. They would shoot 40% from the field, 30% from 3, and 90% from the line. That's a great free throw number. You make that many free throws, you're gonna seal up a game. And they finished with 40 points in the paint. They really were dominant down there. This game had 1 tie and 1 lead change, so it really wasn't that close in terms of back and forth. The Bulldogs kept it close early, but they couldn't keep up in the second half. Maya Simmons and Kayla Turner both had 12 points for the Bulldogs. Simmons had 5 rebounds. Also, she finished 3 of 17 from the field, 2 of 7 from 3, and 4 of 4 from the line. Turner was 4 of 8 from the field, 0 for 7 from 3, and 4 for 4 from the line. Bulldogs finished with 35 rebounds. They had 16 fouls, 7 assists, and 20 turnovers, 1 block, and 4 steals. They shot 23% from the field, 16% from 3, and 92% from the line. So not a great shooting night for them at all. 20 points in the paint. Couldn't really get out and run. They only finished with 2 fast break points. It was tough for them to really have any success doing much in the second half. Tigers were able to pull away and take care of business in this game. The next game we have will be the Panthers of Prairie View taking on Mississippi Valley Delta Devils. The Panthers would pick up their first victory of the season, the conference season, 83-69. Really comfortable win for the Panthers. They needed this coming off of a couple of losses on the road. They improved to 5-8 and 1-2 in conference. Valley drops to 1-15 and 0-3 in conference. Prairie View led this game at the half, 45-27. It was never close. They scored 28 points in the third quarter. Valley did score 27 points in the fourth quarter to kind of make this lead look a little bit less than what it was, but it finished 83-69. Lizzie Walker finished with 16 points and 7 rebounds for the Delta Devils. She was 6 of 8 from the field, 4 of 8 from the line. Jayla Reed had 11 points as well, and Leah Turner had 12 points and 5 rebounds for the Delta Devils off the bench. Shadami McKnight was held to 7 points on the night. She was 3 of 5 from the field, did not make a 3, and she was 1 of 2 from the line. They finished with 27 rebounds, 15 fouls, 15 assists, 25 turnovers, 5 blocks, and 13 steals. So not a good game taking care of the basketball for the Delta Devils. They would finish shooting 49% from the field, 36 from 3, and 48% from the free throw line. That's going to kill you every time. Not so much in a game that's not close, but you still want to have, you want to have better performances from the line in that. This game had 2 ties and no lead changes. Jessica Saunders led the Panthers with 16 points. She also had 2 rebounds. 2 assists, 1 block, and 1 steal. She was 5 of 7 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, and 4 of 5 from the line. Ryan Payne had 12 points as well. Also, Adriana Waddle had 14 points and 7 rebounds. Geraldine Smith led the Panthers with 10 rebounds off the bench. She had 8 points as well. 47 rebounds for the Panthers. They out rebounded Delta Devils by 12. They had 21 fouls, 17 assists, 23 turnovers, 6 blocks, and 14 steals. They shot 40% from the field, 31% from 3, and 80% from the line. They had 48 points in the paint, so they were very dominant inside. They finished with 37 bench points as well. So a nice balanced effort for them, and they needed this win to try to find some footing coming off of them early 2 games that they lost in conference play. So they pick up their first conference victory, and they get ready for a tough task on Monday. But our final game on Saturday, Texas Southern pulls off the upset over Arkansas Pine Bluff, 85-80. Pine Bluff led this game for a good stretch. They led this game 31 to 20. They 41 to 38 at the half. Texas Southern would use a good second half, outscoring the Golden Lions by 1 in the third, and 7 in the fourth to win this game by 5. Tigers improved to 3-11. They pick up their second conference win at 2-1 in conference. Pine Bluff drops to 7-9 and 2-1 in conference as well. Maya Peak finished with 21 points and 8 rebounds on the night. She was 7 of 15 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3, and 7 of 10 from the line. She also had 8 rebounds and 1 block. Kariah Beck had 17 points and 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Jaleesa Reese had 14 points and 9 rebounds. Those 9 rebounds led the team. Zay Green was held to 2 points. She did have 3 rebounds, but she was in foul trouble for a good portion of the game. And Demetria Shepard had 12 points off the bench for the Golden Lions. They finished with 48 rebounds, 20 fouls, 14 assists, 16 turnovers, 5 blocks, and 13 steals. They shot 33% from the line, 17% from 3, and 74% from the free throw line, 33% from the field, 40 points in the paint for the Golden Lions. They had 24 bench points. This game had 15 ties and 10 lead changes. A very competitive game between 2 teams that were battling it out. Deja Holmes had 23 points for the Tigers. She also had 6 rebounds, 10 of 15 from the field, 3 or 4 from 3. She had 5 assists, 1 block, and 1 steal as well. Also, Tanya Lawson had 20 points and 3 rebounds, and 3 assists as well for the Tigers. She was 5 of 13 from the field and 10 of 12 from the free throw line. She was 0 for 4 from 3. Jada Belton had 14 points and 7 rebounds. Those 7 rebounds led the team. Tigers finished with 47 rebounds, so they were out rebounded by 1, which is not bad against a team with the size of Pine Bluff. They had 25 fouls, 19 assists, 26 turnovers, 7 blocks, and 6 steals. TSU continues to have problems with turnovers, but they were able to overcome those turnovers in two games. So they're kind of living a little dangerously, but you take it how you can get it in conference play. They shot 50% from the field, 33% from 3, and 74% from the line. They finished with 36 points in the paint. They did have 23 bench points and 17 second chance points as they picked up a big victory early in the season, and they find themselves in a good position right now at 2-1. Looking at the schedule for Monday's action, we have 2 teams who played already on Thursday and Saturday. They playing again on Monday. That's the Bulldogs and the Hornets of Alabama State and Alabama A&M. They play in Mobile in the Bridge Builders Classic. That's a 4:00 tip. Valley is at Texas Southern. That's listed as a 12:00 tip. Pine Bluff is at Prairie View. That's a 1 p.m. tip. Southern is at Bethune-Cookman. That's a 3:30 Central tip. And Grambling is at Florida A&M, which is a 3:30 Central Time tip. Switching over to the men's side of things, not as many close games. There were a few. There were a couple games that were kind of won comfortably. No really huge blowouts. The road teams did pretty well on this Saturday. They went 4-2. The home teams obviously won 2 games, but we'll start off with Florida A&M and Southern. This was a tightly contested game for the most of the first half. FAMU actually led this game by I think 7 or 8 at one point in the early in the first half, before Southern went on a run to take the lead right before the half. Jags went into the half up 30-27, and then they would outscore FAMU 44-38 in the second half to win this game 74-65. Southern improved to 9-7 and 3-0 in conference. FAMU drops to 2-11 and 0-2 in conference. Uh, Scooter Joseph led Southern with 33 points. On the night, he was 12 of 24 from the field, 8 or 19 from three, and 1 of 5 from the line. Brandon Davis was the only other Jaguar with double figures. He had 14 points and 5 rebounds. Dejani Dumasi finished with 6 assists on the night for Southern. Derek Tazino also had 5 rebounds to help lead the Jags. Southern finished with 29 rebounds on the night, 15 fouls, 9 assists, 8 turnovers, 2 blocks, and 8 steals. Did a really good job cutting down those turnovers. They've been kind of at like 13, 14 turnovers in the last few games, but 8 is a really good number, especially on the road. Jags shot 45% from the field, 40% from 3, and 50% from the free throw line. You do want to see that free throw number go up, but they were able to have a really good shooting night from the field and from 3, which is one of their better shooting nights of conference play so far. 28 points in the paint for the Jaguars. They had 18 second chance points, 21 points over turnovers. This game had 3 ties and 7 lead changes. Those all were early in the first half. Once Southern took the lead midway late in the first half, they never really looked back. FAMU was led by Hans Louis June with 16 points and 9 rebounds. Those 9 rebounds also led the team. Jalen Spear had 14 points, and KJ Parker had 13 points off the bench for the Rattlers. They finished with 40 rebounds, 20 fouls, 12 assists, 19 turnovers, 2 blocks, and 2 steals. They shot 45% from the field. FAMU is a pretty solid shooting team this season. They shot 41% from 3 and 46% from the line. So neither team did anything great at the free throw line. Both teams shot the ball extremely well from the field and from 3. But this was a game that kind of was, one of those back and forth games, and then one team went on a run, and then they held the other team off. They finished with 22 points in the paint. They did have 27 bench points and 15 second chance points, but the Rattlers dropped their second game in a row in conference play as they still try to find out who they are. They haven't really had a lot of success since they've joined the conference. They did make the tournament their first year in the SWAC, but last season was a really, really poor year. This season, it seems to be tracking the same way, but they have some shooters, and they could be dangerous, especially at home. My next game is Grambling going to Daytona to beat Bethune-Cookman 79-69. Grambling led this game by 3 at the half, 39-36, before they outscored Bethune-Cookman 40-33 in the second half, and they would pick up their second conference win, improving to 2-1 in conference, 5-11 overall. Bethune-Cookman drops to 6-9 in conference and 1-1 overall. Kentavious Dozier finished with 25 points for Grambling. He also had 2 rebounds and 2 assists. He was 7 of 11 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, and 11 of 22 from the line. Antoine Burnett had 22 points for the Tigers. He was 7 of 10 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3, and 6 of 7 from the line. He had 4 rebounds. Tremichael Moulton had 11 points for Grambling as well, and 3 assists. Jonathan Aku led Grambling with 6 rebounds. Also, Jordan Smith had 12 rebounds, 12 points off the bench. Grambling finished with 22 rebounds, 16 fouls, 15 assists, 14 turnovers, 7 blocks, and 10 steals. Shot 54% from the field, 50% from 3, and 82% from the line. Great shooting night for Grambling. Their offense really came to play in this game, and they took care of business on the road. 34 points in the paint, 23 points over turnovers, and they had 21 bench points. This game did have 7 ties and 9 lead changes. This game was a lot similar to Southern's game. First half was kind of back and forth. Then the second half, Grambling pulled ahead, and the lead fluctuated between like 10 and 12, 10 and 14 until the end. So keeping up with both these games on the score tracker at the same time, the scores were kind of like really similar for long stretches of time. It's kind of like watching the score of the same game as both teams did basically the same thing. Deshaun Dyson had 21 points for Bethune-Cookman. He was 6 of 19 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3, and 7 of 7 from the line. Also had 6 rebounds. Jacoby Hetty had 17 points and 7 rebounds. Reggie Ward had 13 points and 5 rebounds. Elijah Holsway had 8 rebounds to lead the team. Wildcats finished with 35 rebounds. They had 19 fouls, 17 assists, 16 turnovers, 3 blocks, and 4 steals. They shot 38% from 3, 33% from the 3-point line, and 81% from the free throw line. They shot the ball extremely well against FAMU. They scored like 98 points in their first game, so this was a big drop off against a team who plays great defense. Grambling did a really good job on Bethune-Cookman defensively to kind of stymie them. They did finish with 30 points in the paint. They only had 9 bench points on the night and 12 points off of turnovers. Our third game on the schedule is Alabama State picking up a nice victory at home against Alcorn. This game kind of shows that the Hornets are going to be a factor in the conference. They're going to be a team that's going to be tough to deal with. They beat Alcorn 55-53. Hornets improved to 3-1 in conference, 8-9 overall. Alcorn drops to 2-14 and 1-2 overall in conference. Alcorn led this game by 9 at the half before Bama State outscored them by 11 in the second half. And just like I said in my preview, the 2 games that Bama State won, they won them late in the game. They put that the score, like I said, they had to score like 4 points in the last 6 seconds to beat Valley. And then they came, they had to kind of withstand a run from Pine Bluff and then pull away late in that game. And the same thing happened here. So they're a team who doesn't fold right now when they get behind. They're thriving in close games. So that's something that you're definitely going to have to look out for as they move forward. Jeremiah Kendall led Alcorn with 19 points. He also had 5 rebounds. Was 9 of 18 from the field, 1 for 1 from the line. He was in foul trouble with 4 fouls. Jeremiah Gambrell had 14 points, and Byron Joshua finished with 10. He also had 7 rebounds. And DeKeidron Thorne led Alcorn with 8 rebounds on the night. Braves finished with 44 rebounds. They had 14 fouls, 10 assists, 16 turnovers, 2 blocks, and 3 steals. Like I said earlier, if you can turn Alcorn over, you have a good chance. And 16 turnovers is definitely a thing that helped Bama State in this game. Alcorn shot 37% in the game from the field, 21% from 3, including 0 for 5 in the second half, and 55% from the free throw line. That's going to kill you every time, especially in close games. They finished with 24 points in the paint. They only had 5 bench points. This game had 3 ties and 7 lead changes. Bama State was led by TJ Madlock with 14 points. Isaiah Range had 12 points. Ocone had 8 rebounds to lead the Hornets. Sean Smith had 10 points off the bench. He also had 7 rebounds. Hornets finished with 38 rebounds, 11 fouls, 9 assists, 11 turnovers, 5 blocks, and 13 steals. They shot 34% from the field, 22% from 3, and 58% from the line. So neither team shot the ball well from the free throw line in this game, and Bama State was lucky to withstand that. That hurts to see teams not shoot the ball well from the line. 24 points in the paint for the Hornets. They had 23 bench points in this game as they pick up a crucial win. I know it's early, but you want to win games, and like I always say, you want to win games at home because that's where you're most comfortable. You're not going to really win a lot on the road, so you want to win more at home, and then that decreases the amount of games that you have to win on the road. Now, of course, you want to win as many games as you can, but when you go into a game on the road, knowing you have to win is a little bit tougher than going on the road and hoping to come away with 1 out of 2 in your weekend series. So that game definitely helps Bama State keep pace with everybody right now. Jackson State beat Alabama A&M 75-68. Tigers led by 10 at the half, 37-27. Bama A&M outscored the Tigers 40-38 in the second half to made the margin 8-point game. Tigers improved to 7-9 and 3-0 in conference. A&M is 3-14 and 2-2 in conference. Ken Evans led the Tigers with 19 points. He also had 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal. He was 6 of 17 from the field, 3 of 6 from the 3-point line, and 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Jordan O'Neal, 12 points and 8 rebounds. 11 points for Coach Young. He also had 6 rebounds, um, and 10 points for Chase Adams. 9 rebounds for Zeke Cook to lead the team. They finished with 39 rebounds, 24 fouls, 9 assists, 11 turnovers, 3 blocks, and 6 steals. Tigers shot 37% from the field, 36 from 3, and 71 from the line. They finished with 22 points in the paint. They had 18 bench points. This game had 3 ties and 2 lead changes. Um, Dallin Smith led the Bulldogs with 26 points. He was 7 of 12 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3, and 9 of 12 from the line. He also had 7 rebounds. Both those numbers led the team. He finished with 1 block and 1 steal as well. AC Bryant was the only other scorer in double figures with 11. He also had 4 rebounds. Bulldogs finished with 34 rebounds, 25 fouls. This game was a foul fest. 49 total 49 total fouls in this game. 7 assists for the Bulldogs, 15 turnovers, 5 blocks, and 2 steals. They shot 40% from the field, 33% from 3, and 75% from the free throw line. Like I said on Saturday, for A&M to win this game, they would have to shoot the ball extremely well from 3. And going 1 of 7 in the first half is never going to help you. They finished 3 of 5 in the second half, but it was too little too late by that point. 26 points in the paint. They had 25 bench points and 21 fast break points, 15 points over turnovers. This was a sloppy, foul-filled game. But JSU was able to build a lead and hold the Bulldogs off and pick up a nice road win and improve to 3-0 as they completed their Alabama the Alabama excuse me, the Alabama swing with 2 victories. So definitely you want to come away from a road trip going 1 or 2, but you go 2-0, that's great, and that's great for JSU. Our next game is Pine Bluff beating Texas Southern 70-67. TSU led this game by 7 at the half, 34-27. A 10-point differential in the second half, 43-33 was the difference in this game. Pine Bluff wins, like I said, 70-67. They improved to 6-10 overall, 1-2 in conference. TSU drops to 3-11 overall, 1-2 in conference. Kylan Milton, 20 points for the Golden Lions. Also had 7 rebounds. He was 6 of 11 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, and 6 of 11 from the line. Martin, 16 points. Joe French, 11 points. So, like I felt like their main guys needed to put points on the board, and they did, and that definitely helps a lot. Plett had 9 rebounds for the Golden Lions. They finished the night with 42 rebounds, 20 fouls, 11 assists, 13 turnovers. They had 1 block and 4 steals. They shot 40% from the field, 33 from 3, and 63 from the line. They had 22 points in the paint, 17 bench points, 12 points over turnovers, 15 second chance points. This game had 4 ties and 6 lead changes. Jonathan Cisse had 21 points to lead the Tigers. He was the only player in double figures. Kalen Farouk had 13 points off the bench. Cisse also had 9 rebounds. He was 8 of 14 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, and 5 of 6 from the line. TSU finished with 39 rebounds, 23 fouls, 7 assists, 8 turnovers, 6 blocks, and 4 steals. Their 3-point shooting woes continue. They shot 9% in this game. They were 2 for 22. They were 39% from the field and 65% from the free throw line. Finished with 38 points in the paint, 12 points over turnovers, 12 fast break points, and 21 bench points. Right now, shooting is TSU's biggest issue on the season. This was the highest scoring conference game so far, but they still are struggling from 3, and that's something that you're gonna have to improve on, especially when you're not playing at home. I mean, losing to Pine Bluff is a tough loss. Pine Bluff does have a great offense in terms of guys that can score the ball, but that was a game you had a lead in and you let it go, and that can definitely hurt you. Prairie View beat Valley 71-60. Valley led this game by 5 at the half, 30-25 before Prairie View outscored them by 16 in the second half, 46-30 to win 71-60. Delta Devils dropped to 0-16 overall, 0-3 in conference. Panthers improved to 6-10 and 1-2 in conference. Raekwon Brown had 17 points for Valley. 7 rebounds, 8 of 17 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3, and 1 from the line. Donovan Sanders, 16 points. He also had 7 rebounds. He was 5 of 7 from the field, 1 for 1 from 3, and 5 of 6 from the line. Arco Gibson has 7 rebounds also for the Delta Devils. And Reginald Reynolds had 11 points off the bench. Delta Devils finished with 32 rebounds. They had 13 fouls, 9 assists, 22 turnovers, 1 block, and 8 steals. Shot 44% from the field, 36 from 3, and 75% from the line. They had 30 points in the paint, 11 points over turnovers, 12 second chance points, 16 bench points. This game had 6 ties and 8 lead changes. Charles Smith led Prairie View with 28 points. On the night, he also had 2 rebounds and 3 assists, 1 steal as well. He was 11 of 19 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3, and 4 of 5 from the line. Nick Gonzalez had 16 points. He was 6 of 13 from the field, 4 of 9 from the 3-point line. And Brian Miles had a double-double with 13 and 12 to pace the Panthers on the boards. They finished with 24 rebounds, 16 fouls, 12 assists, 13 turnovers, no blocks, and 11 steals. They shot 49% from the field, 42 from 3, and 64 from the line. 34 points in the paint, 27 points over turnovers, and 16 fast break points, 11 bench points. Good victory for Prairie View, bouncing back from those 2 opening losses, picking up a must-win at home against a team that hasn't won a game yet. You definitely don't want to drop those kind of games. There's no offense to Valley. They have 2 good scorers in Sanders and Brown, but they don't have a lot else around them. So you don't want to let a team like that hang around and win a game against you. But nice victory for the Panthers to get their first conference win. Valley heads to Texas Southern on Monday for a 2 p.m. tip. Pine Bluff is at Valley. Pine Bluff is at Prairie View. That's a 3 p.m. tip. Southern is at Bethune-Cookman. That's a 5:30 Central Time tip. Bama State and A&M play in Mobile. That's a 6:30 tip. And Grambling and FAMU hook up in Tallahassee. That's a 6 p.m. Central Time tip. So those are our games for Monday. As we start to wrap up the second weekend of conference play on Monday. So we'll be back probably on Wednesday to talk about these games. And we'll continue our season recaps at some point as well. So y'all keep it locked in with us. And we're going to holler at y'all on the rebound. Peace.